Yeah, I'm going to go over my March spreads with you, and then I'm going to show you some of the tools that I have on hand to do my April spreads and explain to you a little bit about why I'm making some changes in April. So I think I'm going to start by just going over my March spreads with you. Before we get right into that, I just want to introduce you to my new art space. You'll notice some interesting washi tape stuck to the desk here. It's not a test of your vision. It is actually there. You're not seeing things. But I have, because my husband is now working from home for the time being, I have given him my art desk to set up his home office on, and I have moved some of my art stuff into my office. So this desk that you're looking at now is actually my work desk in my office, which had a computer monitor dropped on it a while ago. We won't name names as to who did that. So let's jump into it. As I've mentioned in previous videos, bullet journaling is new to me, so I'm trying different spreads, and I'm kind of getting a feel for what works for me and what makes me feel encouraged to open my journal and use it. And I've found a lot of things I learned this month that I'm going to make some tweaks to try to make my journaling habit that much more enjoyable, more productive, and more fun. So this is the March spread, my title page, and my quote. And then I did this faux Dutch door thing where I had space to write some journaling, some thoughts. I was doing my journaling based on the lunar cycles. I'm going to continue that in April because I really love it. I really connect with that way of thinking, of drawing from the natural cycles of the moon in order to help you move through projects and thoughts and feelings at different points in the month. And these faux Dutch doors are really nice. I quite enjoy them. So you can get a week's worth of writing done on 3 pages by just folding this over. I'll put the link to the video on how to do this in the top, right there, boop, in the top corner. Yeah, so I did actually start off the month a little bit not as strong as I would have thought I would have. I didn't have a whole lot of writing to do, but then the more I got into it, the more I fell in love with the spread, and the more I found I was able to use it for day-to-day journaling instead of having 2 journals. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be tweaking this month, as you'll see shortly, is I want to give myself some more space for journaling. I'm also going to continue with my prompts that I've been using, the lunar cycle prompts, and I've done some new ones to put into this month's spread. Those are right here. If you want copies of my prompts for lunar journaling, then just mention it in the comments below, and I'll send a PDF of them to you so you can use them in your journals if you like. Last month I was doing my rolling weekly tasks. So I had a task list on every 1 week spread, and I would just write down the tasks that I had to do as I was thinking of them or as they came up, and then marking off whether I started them. And in the original, like, traditional bullet journaling style, I was using that to track my tasks, but I found I wasn't using the journaling space at all. So when I went to the bigger journaling space, that got a little bit better. But what I found was moving the tasks to a monthly task list, I found it I felt very overwhelming at times. So I'm going to go back to the weekly task list. Let's talk a little bit about the tools that I'm going to be using. I'm sticking to the lunar journaling kind of theme, but I wanted to do something a little different. So this month I'm going to do moon and flowers. I really am craving some color. I want some cheer and happiness. I guess you all are well aware that not everything is positive that we're seeing right now, and I just really want my journal to be a place where I can soak up positivity. So I love these midliners. These are little highlighters. I've got 6 or 7 colors of them. So this month I'm going to be using these kind of bright pastel, they're highlighters actually, to add some color to my spreads. And then of course I'm going to be using blacks. So I've got a black, this is a Pentel sign pen. I've also got a whole bunch of other black pens at my disposal to my right here, and I'll post everything that I use in the comments below so that you can get them if you need them. I've also got some white pens handy. These are good. I find them good for correcting mistakes. super good for correcting mistakes. I've got my pencil, I've got my eraser, got my straight edge. I've also got, because I want to go back to using my stamps, I really love using these. They're fast and I like the way that they look. And then I've got a few different colors of ink. I've got a Color Box Espresso colored ink, which is kind of a brown, so I probably won't use that one. But I've got my black Distress ink, and this is, I've also got here, what is this one? This one is Walnut. And then I've got two other colors here. Yeah, these are more brown, so I won't be using them. I'll probably use my black Distress ink to use my stamps with. Okay, let's get to it. And as usual, I'm going to speed this video up for you so that you don't have to watch the whole thing in real time. Oh, one other thing I forgot. I'm going to need a pair of scissors, and I've also got a paper cutter, a straight paper cutter handy here for cutting whatever needs cut. Okay, let's speed this up and you can watch me set up my April bullet journal. Have my quote for the month, which is obviously inspired by current world events and the increase in anxiety that so many of us are feeling right now. I'm having a difficult time actually with coloring. I'm glad that I'm kind of going for a looser, more free look this month because I'm having some difficulties with remaining calm, and so my strokes are not very even. I'm just gonna try to white this out like that. And the quote is, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So now, more than ever, it's time to look inward and try to see what you can do with yourself to manage the situation for your own mental health. Okay, let's move on. The next page is going to be a month at a glance page. Now, I don't think I've ever done this. Did I do this in January? Let's have a look. No, I didn't do a month at a glance in January. And the reason that I wanted to do it now is because this past month I found myself flipping back and forth between the calendar and my weekly spreads quite often. So I'm going to put this in the very front of the month, and I'm actually going to use some washi tape to put a tab on the edge of the page so that I can find it really easily and just flip to it whenever I need to check out the date. So let's get started. I guess my question would be, am I feeling adventurous enough to not use my straight edge? Yes. Yes, I'm going to just try this month to do my lines without a straight edge. Let's see how this goes. month at a glance. So what I'll use this for is a reference calendar, and then any events or deadlines that I have throughout the month of April, I'll write them down here. This numbered 1 through 31, one line for every day of the month. Hopefully that will help me keep organized. Now I needed a piece of washi tape, and I do have some washi tape handy in all 3 of the colors that I've got. This one's not quite the right green. It's more of a tealy green, so I'm gonna eliminate that one. Any of these would work. I really love having metallics, so the one with the shiny sparklies wins. So to put this little tab on the corner, all I'm gonna do is take a strip, a little tiny strip of the washi tape. I have cut it, and I'm going to tape it to, what's on the other side? I'm going to be very careful about how I do this so as not to completely obliterate the layout on the opposite side. So maybe start putting it, attaching it to the opposite side of the page that I want to reference. And then I'm just going to fold this over, and I'm going to leave a little, I'm going to fold it so that it's not flush with this edge. I'm going to let it stick out just a little bit from the edge and stick it down. So there, now I have a little tab, and when the book is closed, I can easily find it because it's right there. Perfect. Let's move on to the next page. Now this page is something that I'm putting into place this month for the very first time as well. So this is going to be my brain dump page. And yeah, I'm going to try to keep this one pretty minimal. I want to leave as much space as possible just for writing down notes. I'm finding that I'm going back into very old habits of putting my notes in all the places. So I've got notes on my phone, I've got notes on random pieces of paper, I've got notes in my bullet journal. So I want to try to have a place to just write a thought down as it happens, and I'm hoping that this will be the place. I haven't really actually planned for the color scheme here. So in light of that, while I think about the color scheme, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually outline, I've got a little moon here with a lotus flower, and I'm going to outline this illustration while I think about what I'm going to do with the color. Basic block letter like I have been. Keep it nice and simple. That's it. Plain and simple. Just a place for me to jot down ideas as they happen. I'll come back and erase that another time when you're not waiting on me. Okay, let's move on to the fun stuff. So I mentioned that I had figured out a way to do a different layout so that I'd have more space to write every day. I'm finding that there's certain things that I'm wanting to track that I was tracking in I had 2 journals going basically, and so I want to try to do it all in one, and I want to make sure I have enough space to do that. So I'm going to start giving myself this much of a page. So I think that that's what, like 2/3 of a page to record everything I want to record in a day. And then I'm going to use this bottom part. It'll be cut out for a to do a Dutch door. I guess this is not a faux Dutch door this time, it's a real Dutch door, so that the bottom half of my page, of every page this week, I'll still be able to see what my tasks are for the week. This will all make sense very soon, I promise. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to keep this open because I'm actually going to stamp Sunday the 29th across the top. As I mentioned, I printed out these journaling prompts for lunar journaling, and I've noted each day of the week. Sunday the 29th is the waxing crescent moon, so I'm going to cut out the prompt for waxing crescent. Next thing I'm going to need to do is to cut off the bottom of this facing page. No, I promise you, it'll make sense. And it's a scary thing to do, to start cutting up your journals, because they're not all inexpensive, but I promise you, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like what you see. Now you can use like a X-Acto knife if you slide a, whatchamacallit, underneath it, a cutting mat underneath the page, like slide it under here and then cut on top of it. The reason I'm using scissors is I want to be careful to leave the stitching intact. I don't want to cut the stitching or this page will fall out. So having said that, you've got your faux Dutch door. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with the next few pages until we get to the end of the week. There, okay, so I've got all of the faux Dutch door pages cut. So now what happens is we've got Sunday, this will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you can still see the task at the bottom. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then this is another new page that I'm going to show you in a minute, but the other half of my tasks will be on the bottom of here, so that no matter where I am in the week, I can see whatever tasks I'm needing to focus on for the week, and I can just treat this as an ongoing task list like I did last month. And then at the end of the week, I'll transfer that over to my next week. There, so now we've got, yeah, so now you can see that no matter where I am in the week, if I fill my tasks up before the end of the week on this side, I can just carry on this side with the list, and I can always see it, so I know what jobs need to get done and what stage of in the process they all are. That leaves me lots of room for writing every day. Now I will go ahead and do these. I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday off camera. We'll move right on to this other new spread that I'm doing, which is a social media spread. One of the things that I'm wanting to focus back on, been inspired recently by a guy by the name of John Eric Mosler. He is a Facebook guru, social media guru, and he's really, during all of this craziness that's happening in the world, he's really encouraging us to focus on using social media to spread positivity and get some of the negativity out of our news feeds. And so he's showing people who follow him how to do that. And so I want to focus a little bit more on that so that I can use social media to connect with people without inundating myself with messaging that I don't need to be seeing. So there you have my April bullet journal spreads. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this setup for this month. I look forward to showing you what I get up to in my bullet journal for next month. In the meantime, if you enjoy watching these videos, then please do click subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you get notified every single time I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.